So today on the S14 is interior cleanup because I have my ECU not mounted. I have fan wires and sub wires not tucked, and even worse over here. Oh, it's way worse over here. Over here. Oh man. All the wires for the gauges right here. This isn't even in there yet. So if you pull that out, you can probably see one. Yeah, all that down to here, up to where I wired them to. So I'm gonna work on cleaning some of the interior stuff. Jeez, I can't even put that back together with one hand. Finish cleaning on some interior stuff, put it on time lapse as best I can, and just start tucking wires and cleaning this up to make it look nice and pretty. Probably should start cleaning up some of the garage too, but all right, let's get to it. So now I have everything tucked up to where you can't see it on the floorboard. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Down here's a little better. Everything just kind of follows dash line up there. Down into there. I couldn't get this to sit flush. It's probably because the wires are there, but you know, it won't be in the way of my feet when I'm driving, which is good. Clean up some of the floorboard. I have to throw some of this stuff away. And then over there is full of plastic trim pieces. I guess I replaced this with that. And then all of it's the plastic trim pieces for the door cards. I'm waiting for mirrors, hood, and trunk to be back from paint. It's supposed to be back today, but there ended up being an issue. So I'm gonna have to pick them up on Sunday when I get back from my weekend vacation. But a little cleaner down here. A lot of cleaner down there. That was a bad side. This was a bad side. Gonna work on tidying up this now. Actually thought I should kind of explain what all of this is because you might be interested, because it is kind of cool in my opinion. It's something that I would want to know about if I owned an S14 like this. So this faceplate, the faceplate itself, I had 3D printed by one of my friends, and it came with 2 holes for 52mm gauges, and I wired in a volts gauge and a clock because I couldn't find one that was 1 gauge. I only needed the 1 gauge, which is battery volts. Couldn't find one that was only 1 gauge, so I had to get one that was 2. And Glow Shift makes a clock that matches the same font, same, looks the exact same as their other gauges. I actually had this one in my old STI. And then over here I also have, focus, I have boost, oil temp, and AFRs, all AEM. These rings used to be silver, I painted those black. And then these 2 switches right here, this left switch is for one of the fans in the front, just one. The other one is on all the time. This switch turns on the second one. The reason I did that was because I live in Utah, so when it gets cold in Utah, having both fans on all the time on high, the car won't be able to get up the temperature in the fall or in winter. So I have the option to turn one of the fans off to help the car get warmed up in the fall and winter. This switch does nothing right now. I have a couple ideas what I want to wire this up as, but as of now, nothing is connected to it. And then there used to be a cigarette lighter here and coin slot here. So I moved the cigarette lighter to there. Super clean spot on the trim piece for the shifter. I can plug in my chargers and stuff. Goes on pretty smooth. I think it looks pretty good. But I gotta screw down the radio. There's no screws in this, and then I gotta just kind of put all this back together so it's solid. Alright, so I tried to time lapse that, but apparently the camera didn't want to work. Radio and everything is in tight. This is not. So factory one came with this little clip right here. This one, as you can tell, doesn't have it, and also the screws down there don't match up with the holes. They're too narrow. So this just kind of sits in there, and then, sorry, focus. And then the shifter plate just kind of pushes up against it. And that's what really kind of holds it in place the most. I mean, I could probably... that actually worked. Oh, just kidding. But I say that isn't terrible. Not bad.
Can you see I come and bend? Can you get it? Can you see I get it? Bend? Can you get it? Can you see I go bend? Can you get it? Can you see I get it? Bend? Can you get it? Can you see I come and bend? Can you get it? Can you see I get it? Bend?